Fred Russell guilty of vehicular homicide.
That ruling came down in a Cowlitz County courtroom today. Russell guilty of vehicular homicide in the deaths of 3 WSU students in 2001. That trial moved to Kelso in southwestern Washington because of extensive media coverage in Whitman County where that crash happened.
KXLY4's Erik Loney was live in the courtroom this afternoon. He is back now here in Spokane with more on this, which is not really over yet, is it?
No, this case is not over yet. Russell's attorneys vowed at the end there that they will appeal this verdict. And there's also a sentencing set for next month sometime where prosecutors have said they will ask for the maximum penalty of 14 years in prison. Now, today's verdict ends 6 years of waiting by everyone involved in this case.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Frederick David Russell, guilty of the crime of vehicular homicide.
Fred Russell winced and shook his head as the judge read the verdict. Russell's mother sat behind him and didn't move. The families of the 3 students killed in the crash were also in the courtroom. Hank Clements, who lost his son Brandon, shed tears of joy.
Actually, happiness, because he finally took a trial for something that he should have done, 6 years ago. It just took 6 years and a lot of patience, and like I said, don't replace my son. It makes me feel a lot better.
It's been a long 3.5 weeks. It's been a long 6.5 years. It's nice that they made the decision I would have liked to have seen.
The jury found Russell guilty of driving drunk and causing the crash that killed Clements, Ryan Sorensen, and Stacy Morrow in 2001. At least one juror cried after the verdict was read in the courtroom, and Russell could be seen saying, "It's okay." Jurors told prosecutors after the verdict that there wasn't enough evidence to prove Russell's defense that another car had forced him into oncoming traffic.
For the jurors, what was clear to them was if somebody else had caused this collision, the first thing that a person who's being held responsible for it would do is stand up and say, "Hey, it wasn't me, this is what happened." So that was a key factor to them, that the defendant told everybody at the scene and thereafter that the cars were coming at him in his lane.
Russell's attorney said they will appeal the case on a laundry list of grievances. One of his attorneys, Diego Vargas, said they are now second-guessing their decision that Russell did not testify.
You know, in retrospect, if I had to do it over again, I think I would have put him on the stand.
Families of the students killed in the crash said the verdict puts an end to one part of a tragic story.
This just helps with the healing process, and maybe I'll be able to move forward with my life now.
Now, again, we have sentencing next month, but one thing prosecutors did tell us, we were hanging around the courthouse last 2 days waiting for the verdict, and they did tell us that had Russell either pled guilty in 2001 or been convicted in 2001, he likely would have been eligible for release next year sometime.
Wow.
So now he'll be sentenced next month, 10 to 14 years in prison.
Oh my goodness. It is tragic for everyone involved. You're absolutely right. It's awful.
All right, thank you.